Good morning, all of you. Welcome to the second lecture of Air and Atmosphere. Myself, Suman Singh. So, in the last class, we have learned about air, atmosphere, and some of the gases. So, today, one by one, we will see the gases. So, how they are prepared and what are the uses of that gas. We will learn one by one. So, first is nitrogen. So, whenever we are talking about nitrogen, so we will learn here preparation of nitrogen. So you can see here in a laboratory, nitrogen is prepared by the action of ammonia. You can say ammonium chloride. By the action of ammonium chloride, you can see here NH3, NH3Cl, ammonium NH4Cl, sorry, ammonium chloride and sodium nitrate, NaNO2. So how this experiment is carried out? It is carried out in a round bottom flux with a saturated solution containing equal amount of ammonium chloride and sodium nitrate solution. Okay. So here they have asked about saturated solution. Saturated solution means what you can say the solution in which no more solute can be added. Okay, that is called saturated solution. So in a round bottom flux, a saturated solution has been taken of ammonium chloride and sodium nitrate, and both they have reacted with each other and form sodium chloride and ammonium nitrate. So you can see here the the reaction is given here. You can see the reaction. So in this reaction, what they have taken NH4Cl, which is ammonium chloride, plus sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate is NaNO2. So after they have reacted and they have formed what? NaCl plus NH4NO2. Okay. And one more thing, now further what they have done, again they have done, this ammonium nitrate which is formed in this reaction, this one NH4NO2, this ammonium nitrate, they have further heated this, okay. You can say like this NH4NO2 has been further heat to form what? Water vapor, which is H2O, water vapor and nitrogen. Okay, I hope all of you have understood this reaction is also given here. You can see this reaction is also given here. Okay, so now this was the preparation of nitrogen. So what are the uses of nitrogen? We will see that what is the uses of nitrogen. So as we know, nitrogen is the major component for protein. Plant and animals also need nitrogen for their growth and functioning. Okay, plant get nitrogen from nitrogen fixation bacteria present in the soil and the root nodules of the plant for making protein. You can see here whatever the thing I have told, it is written here. Okay, now next is nitrogen as a gas is used to fill the tire of an aircraft and other vehicles, and in the vehicles of another vehicles and aircraft tires. Sometimes nitrogen has been used. Okay, you can see here it is written. After that, nitrogen is also used in the manufacture of ammonia, by in the Born-Haber cycle, or you can say Haber's process. Okay, in Haber's process, nitrogen is also used in the manufacture of ammonia. You can see here, and after that, nitrogen is used in the manufacturing of explosive. Okay, such as TNT and nitro nitroglycerin. Okay, so this is also given here. You can see this. Okay, now we can nitrogen is also used in controlling pollutions in many industries. They it is used to destroy toxic liquids and vapor. Okay, in many industries they has been used to destroy toxic, you can say here, to destroy toxic liquid and vapor in the industrial equipment. Now in hospitals also, nitrogen is used in preserving and storing blood and tissues because it provide a very low temperature for preservation. Okay, you can see in hospitals liquid nitrogen is used for preventing and storing the blood and tissues because it provide low temperature and preservation. Now, due to the inert nature, nitrogen play a key role in reducing spoilage, decolorizing, and off flavoring, giving strength to the food packaging industry. How you can see, whatever the food packet we have, just like the Lays and that Bingo and all, that we used to eat, and that also they are using nitrogen, because in the presence of nitrogen they will they will reduce spoilage. You can see here, no? It is written, they reduce spoilage, so that is why it is used there. Okay, now renewable of nitrogen. When we are talking about the renewable nitrogen, how nitrogen is renewed in the atmosphere, so there is a very nice process which is called nitrogen cycle. So we will discuss about this, what is nitrogen cycle. So when we are talking about the nitrogen cycle, so you can see here, the whatever the waste product of animal and plant, you can see whatever the waste product of animal and plants which is containing nitrogen, yes, or we can say that the waste product of animal and plant containing nitrogen components, they are what they are done, the component are acted upon by the bacteria and other decomposer present in the soil. Okay, whatever the components, the waste product of animal and plant which is present, when it is dumped in the soil or placed in the soil, the bacteria and other decomposer present in the soil, they used to start working on that material. So what they do, this bacteria convert this nitrates. This bacteria, you can see here it is written, this bacteria convert this nitrates back into atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so whatever the bacteria which is present in the soil, they will work on that waste product of animal and plant which is containing nitrogen, that will convert this, and they will convert the nitrates back into nitrogen. Similarly, when the plant and animal dies, you can say that bacteria decay their bodies and releases the nitrogen compound into the soil. That process is called ammonification. You can see here it is written, definition is written here. When plant and animal dies, bacteria decay their body and release nitrogen component into the compounds into the soil. This process is called ammonification. Okay, now again plant use this nitrogen compound for the from the soil for their own growth, and for their own growth also. And means whatever the soil, whatever the nitrogen which is present in the soil, it is used by the plant for their growth, and that process is called assimilation. Okay, you can see here it is written, plant use this nitrogen compound from the soil for their own growth, and this process is called assimilation. Now next, these events, the assimilation process and the ammonification process and the conversion of this waste into nitrate, after that nitrate into nitrogen, these events repeat. Okay, they used to continually repeat, or it repeat like a cycle. Okay, this repeat like a cycle, and the circulation of oxygen between the atmosphere, living soil and the living organism is called nitrogen cycle. Definition is also given here. You can see the circulation of nitrogen between the atmosphere, soil and living organism is called nitrogen cycle. You can see here. Okay, so this was about the nitrogen cycle. And one more thing, these nitrogen cycles help to maintain the amount of nitrogen in the air at a fairly constant level, because if nitrogen cycle will not continue, then the percentage of nitrogen will reduce in the atmosphere. So it is a very important cycle for our living being. Okay, now we will see about oxygen. We all know oxygen is a very essential for the living things. Okay, whatever the living things, either it is animal or plant or aquatic animals, any living organism which oxygen is needed. Okay, oxygen is essential for them. Plant and human being cannot live without oxygen, we all know that. And oxygen also support burning. So in the it is where if you talk about the presence of oxygen, so it is present in air as well as in water. Okay, so how water it is the amount of oxygen dissolved in fresh water is whatever the oxygen which is dissolved in the water, it is used by the fishes and other aquatic animals for respiration. We have seen you have seen that in the aquarium which we use in our house. In that aquarium we have to supply the oxygen from outside, because the oxygen whatever the water you will add there, and the water from that water the fish and other fishes will use that water, use the oxygen of that water, and the water will become oxygenless. So they used to give one machine that used to provide regular supply of oxygen to that water. So in this from this example you can understand that the fish and other aquatic animals living in water also required oxygen for their respiration. Okay. uh, it is found both in free and combined state oxygen. When we are talking about the oxygen, it will found in both in free as well as in combined state. Free state we know what we are inhaling now, and when we are talking about the combined state, it will react with the metals, or it will react with the non-metals to form their oxides. In the form of oxides also we used to get, we in the form of oxides, what oxides we are getting, that is called combined state. So we will learn about that. Okay. In the combined state, oxygen is an abundant element in the earth, and in the combined state it is found in air and its constituent of CO2, which is 0.03%, which is also given here. You can see that 0.03% is also present in the rocks, minerals, in the form of oxides. What I have told you previously, it is found in the form of an oxides, and it is also present in carbonate, nitrate, silicate, phosphate, like this. In all these things you can found oxygen. The human body also contains 65% of oxygen by weight, as we know that. Now when we are talking about the preparation of nitrogen, so oxygen are prepared by electrolysis process. In you have to understand, you have to learn electrolysis process, because on some of the other processes is also there, but basically you have to learn the electrolysis process. Okay. In electrolysis process, what they are doing, they used to pass an electric current, okay, through an acidified water. So they used to pass electric current. Suppose this is a container, in this container there is H2O. Okay, there is water is present, and they will pass electricity. Okay, they will pass electric current, and to and the so after passing the electric current, what it will do, it will break up into two, which is two hydrogen, 2H2 plus O2. Okay, oxygen. So like this, by the electrolysis process we can prepare oxygen. And one more thing, one more thing is given here. You can see oxygen can be prepared in a laboratory by the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide using manganese dioxide as a catalyst. So we will see that what is this. Okay, you can see here hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2. This H2O2 in the presence of manganese dioxide, MnO2, in the presence of MnO2, okay, as a catalyst is what, which is used in the reaction. Just like you can take the example, it does not combine in the reaction, but it help in the reactions to occur. Catalyst is what, you can see that catalyst, this MnO2, which is MnO2 is here na? You are seeing that manganese dioxide is written here, yeah, right? So this manganese dioxide, which is MnO2, MnO2 is what, it is a catalyst. Okay, you will learn this in your higher classes in detail. I am giving you a basic idea about this. So catalyst, it is used as a catalyst. Okay, catalyst. Okay, catalyst. So what is catalyst? Catalyst is the substance which is used in the reaction just to speed up the reaction. Okay, and it will help the reaction to occur. And one more thing, the catalyst will not dissolve in oxygen. Means suppose it will not take part in the reaction, but it will just speed up the reaction. Okay, so you can see here H2O2, H2O2. This H2O2 is in presence of MnO2. This is MnO2, O2 give what they give? They give 2H2O, 2H2O and O2. Okay, so this is the again this is another process how we can prepare oxygen. Okay, now whenever we are talking about the chemical properties of oxygen, oxygen is non-combustible gases, as we know, but is a good supporter of combustion. It will not it will not burn, you can say like that, it will not burn individually, but it will burn in helping in combustion. They used to support oxygen, because in the absence of oxygen, combustion is not possible. Okay, and also one more thing, oxygen gas convert carbon into carbon dioxide, and sometimes in carbon monoxide, in some cases in carbon monoxide. And one more thing, they will react with metal as well as non-metal to form their oxide. How? You can see that some of the example is also given here. I will give you one more example. Just like Mg, this is magnesium, and it will react with oxygen O2 to give MgO. Okay, so you can balance this to MgO. Okay, so this is also what, this is magnesium, this is what, this is a metal, and it is reacting with what, oxygen, to give MgO. Okay, now one more example is given here. You can see the example here. One more example is given here. Na 4Na plus O2. Okay, and this will give 2Na2O. this is what, sodium oxide. Okay, so this is also, sodium is also a metal, then it is reacting with oxygen to form sodium oxide. Okay, in this way, one non-metal, when we are talking about the example of non-metal, for non-metal you can take one example, that is carbon. Okay, reacting with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Okay, in some cases you can see here, one example is also given here. You will get the example. In some cases they will form, carbon will react with this oxygen, will react with this oxygen, O2, to form carbon monoxide also. Okay, now in this, one more example is given here. You can see sulfur, the example of sulfur is also given there. Sulfur is reacting with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide, SO2. Okay, now, so this was the how this oxygen react with metal. Always remember that metal react with oxygen react with this metal or non-metal to form their oxide. Okay, now different substance combine with oxygen at different rate. Depending on this, means we means if we are taking some example, if we are taking here just like sodium, whatever the example is given here, sodium. So this sodium will react differently with this oxygen. Since sodium is also a metal, we take the one example. Okay, we will take one example. Sodium is also a metal. Okay, and we are taking here iron, and suppose we are taking here magnesium. Okay, suppose, and we are taking here potassium. These all are what, these all are metal. Okay, so this metal will react differently with the oxygen, this will react differently with the oxygen, this will react differently with the oxygen, and this will react differently with the oxygen. Means they will not react with the oxygen in the same way. All them have different reacting tendency. Okay, so one by one we will see how many types. It is basically three type. It is given in your book. One is spontaneous oxidation, rapid oxidation, and slow oxidation. You can see this, spontaneous, rapid, and slow. Okay, so what is spontaneous oxidation? So in this type of oxidation, the substance begins to burn on its own. Means what? If we will, if suppose we are taking the example of sodium. So sodium is a very reactive metal. So when it is basically it is stored in kerosene. Okay, so what they are, if we are taking out this sodium, and we are leaving on an in an open room, if we just leave them for a few minutes or few seconds, it will start burning. So this type of reaction in which the substance burn with their own. Okay, burn on its own while being ignited by any physical means such as flame or spark, then that type of reaction is called spontaneous oxidation. Okay, that type of oxidation is called spontaneous oxidation. Means what? Just like here you can see the example is given, sodium and potassium react spontaneously with oxygen to form sodium oxide and potassium oxide. Two examples are also given here. You can see there, for sodium to 4Na plus O2, what it will give? 2Na 2Na2O. So this is what sodium oxide, and it will react very fast with oxygen. Okay, and so one more example it is given here. You can see potassium. Okay, it is reacting with oxygen to form what? Potassium oxide. Okay, K2O. Just to balance this, here take 4 here and 2 here. Okay, so this is also potassium also react very fast with oxygen. So this type of reaction is called a spontaneous reaction. And one, this was the example of metal, and one non-metal is also there which react very fast or which show spontaneous oxidation, that is phosphorus. You can see here P4. Phosphorus also react very fast with this oxygen. Okay, to form what? Phosphorus pentaoxide. Okay, P4H P4O10. Okay, so this is also this is a non-metal. That two examples, sodium and potassium, are the example of metal, and this phosphorus is a non-metal. It also react very fast with oxygen. So this type of oxidation, they show spontaneous oxidation. It means the oxidation will be very fast. Okay, now next we will see rapid oxidation. So what is rapid oxidation? In this type of oxidation, the substance react with the oxygen rapidly to release large amount of heat and light energy. Okay, for example, the combustion of petrol, kerosene, methane, LPG, that all burn, and they all show rapid oxidation, because when they burn, they used to produce large amount of heat and light. Okay, so this was the example of rapid oxidation. And slow oxidation is what? The reaction which will be very slow. It will take so many, sometimes it will take 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, sometimes it will take a month to oxidize. Just like in the case of iron, you have seen iron used to get rust. One brownish color layer used to appear on an iron metal when it is left outside in an open air. So that iron used to show very slow oxidation. You can see the one in this one equation is also given here. 4Fe plus 3O2 will give 2Fe2O3, iron 2 oxide. Okay, so this was all about the example of slow oxidation. So we have learned about three type of oxidation, that is spontaneous, rapid and slow oxidation. Now some of the example is also given here. You can see reaction of oxygen, one metal, carbon is given here, hydrogen is given here, sulfur is given here, phosphorus is given here, which we have seen now. And one more thing, they have given the example of metal also. You can see sodium, magnesium, aluminum and magnesium. What I have given you, this one magnesium and this one aluminum. And so these are some of the example of oxygen reacting with metal or non-metal. Now when we are talking about the uses, so it has very much uses, so many uses. It is oxygen is necessary for respiration, as we all know, and in the process of respiration, living organism take oxygen, and that helps break down the food and give out carbon dioxide, water vapor and energy. Other essential, it is also used in burning, and it is used in hospital. For it is given to a patient who is seriously ill. In the process of in the process, we can say it as artificial respiration process. Okay, one cylinder they used to give to the patient, and the patient used to breathe, and that cylinder they used to fill with oxygen, and some other gases are also there, not pure oxygen. After that, you have seen the sea divers in your in Net Geo, and in just like in the movies and all. They used to, before diving into the sea, they used to carry one cylinder in their backside. So that oxygen, the cylinder is also an oxygen cylinder. Okay, it is also used that sea diver in respiration. Now it is also used in welding, cutting metals and glass. You have seen that some of the in this goldsmith in the goldsmith shop, or we can say that they are using that the fire one, just to melt the metals, just to melt the metal. So that is in that fire also they used to use oxygen. So these are some of the uses of oxygen. Okay, Now, this oxygen is used for removing impurities like carbon and silicon in steel industries. So in the steel industries also it is used. Okay. Now one more thing is given here. Pure oxygen is used in the manufacturing of acid like nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Is in the manufacturing of nitric acid and sulfuric acid, pure oxygen is used, which you will learn in higher classes in 11 and 12 about this. Okay. Now, liquid oxygen is also used in a space vehicles for burning of rocket fuel. Oxygen also used for the respiration of astronauts. If there is no oxygen in the outer space, I hope you know about that. Now, fish and other aquatic animals also use this dissolved oxygen, which is present in the water, which is present in the water for respiration. Okay, so there is a two table are given, which is the difference between respiration and combustion. So you can see here what is respiration is just a biological process that takes place in the living beings, and combustion is what it is a chemical process that takes place outside and involves inflammable materials. Okay, now the respiration is what it is a slow process. You can see combustion is what a fast process. The energy is released in some part as a heat, and in respiration, when we are talking about the combustion, the energy is released during the combustion is mostly in the form of heat. Okay, carbon dioxide is released as a result of respiration, and in the form of combustion it will release carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and some other gases depending upon the type of combustion. So this was a simple difference between oxidation and simple difference between combustion and respiration. Now next is combustion and rusting. So what is the difference between combustion and rusting? So we can easily identify. It required oxygen to take place. Same thing, it required both water and oxygen to take place. But here it takes place at high temperature, it takes place at low temperature. It takes place rapidly, means combustion is very rapid process. And as we have learned, where I have also given you the example of that iron, that is a very day process or month process or slow process, we can say like this. Now next, it is large amount of heat is released during this process, and release of evolution of heat is very slow, and it cannot easily measured. Okay, and here the large amount of heat is released during this process. So this was all about the oxygen. So keep up to this. Next class we will learn about carbon monoxide. So till that, thank you.